everyone. I'm Elaine Quijano. Thanks for joining us. We are just hours away from the first Democratic presidential debate of this election cycle. Frontrunner Hillary Clinton will take center stage tonight, surrounded by candidates Bernie Sanders, Jim Webb, Martin O'Malley, and Lincoln Chafee. Joining us on set is Lynda Tran. She's a founding partner at 270 Strategies. Lynda, thanks so much for being with us.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Elaine.
So let me just ask you this, because it seems as though when you look at some of these numbers in the polling data, there's a lot of enthusiasm for Bernie Sanders. What does Hillary Clinton need to do to kind of change that dynamic?
I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of enthusiasm for Hillary Clinton as well. I think we saw that at Roosevelt Island when she launched the campaign. I think you see that anytime she's out in the field and engaging with real people. So I think definitely there's some enthusiasm for her. Tonight, I think it's going to be really important for her to connect with people, to add some personality and share further details about all the policies that she's really passionate about.
Why is personality important, you think, Lynda?
I think personality is especially important these days because people who are paying attention to politics, people who are, making their voices heard at the ballot box really expect to connect with the people who want to be commander-in-chief. And so everything from social media and the way that people engage digitally really makes an impact on what people expect out of their elected leaders.
So let me ask you about a recent CBS News poll. 61% of Americans, according to this poll, said that they believe Hillary Clinton is not trustworthy. What does she need to do tonight to try to change that dynamic?
I mean, look, I think that Hillary Clinton has a significant advantage and a significant disadvantage. Her advantage is that she's probably the only candidate who's going to be on the stage and in modern politics who does not have a name ID problem. Her disadvantage is she's the only candidate who does not have a name ID problem. So she's going to have to break through some of the preconceptions that people have, and she's going to have to shore up her connection to people who already support her.
Now, what about the other candidates? Is it basically going to be their strategy to target Hillary Clinton?
Well, I mean, I think that each of them has a different set of goals that they're going to need to accomplish tonight. Every single one of them needs to be memorable. That includes Hillary Clinton. I don't think that there are necessarily big upsides to some of the folks who are going to be on stage really attacking her. Bernie Sanders, for example, I think is going to have to dial down some of his energy and excitement and maybe make people feel like he's one of them.
Dial it down?
Dial it down a little bit, I think. Yeah. I mean, I think it's similar on the Republican side of the fence. Nobody wants an angry president, right? And so it's great to speak truth to power, and it's great to, really be passionate about issues, but you also need to feel like somebody that people can relate to.
Some people like passion, though. A lot.
I mean, I like passion as well, absolutely.
But you think there's a risk if he does that, if he goes too far?
Sure. I mean, his challenge is that most people outside of the New England bubble really don't know who he is. And so this is a massive opportunity for him to connect with people in their living rooms who may never have heard of his name before.
So you don't think we're going to necessarily see the slugfest that some say we saw on the Republican side?
Well, we're certainly not going to see what we saw at the Republican food fight, is how I would describe it. And I can't imagine that people are going to be training their firepower on Hillary Clinton the same way that they did on Donald Trump. There's just not a lot of upside to it. That said, I think that people like Martin O'Malley, Jim Webb, Lincoln Chafee as well really need to do something that makes them stand out from the crowd. So we'll see.
Yeah, because you mentioned those names, and people who are outside of the realm of politics or journalism might not necessarily recognize those names.
That's
so how
exactly
do you
right.
set yourself
Yeah,
apart?
that's exactly right. And I think the polling actually shows that, right? Most of these people are not polling much above 1%. So it is going to be important for them to show their personality as well and say things that make people feel like they understand the challenges that are facing ordinary, everyday Americans.
It'll be fascinating to watch. Lynda Tran, thank you so much for your insight.
Thanks, Lynn.
And stick with CBSN today for all the action from Las Vegas. Our pre-debate coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern.